Good evening, everybody. Welcome here to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH for On-the-Birds Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bombers football. As we have the battle of the O's, somebody's O's got to go. The 5-0 Macomb Bombers taking on the 5-0 Farmington Farmers here, of course, in Farmington. John Burton will be on the call with you. Alongside me, Coach Weston. We got Dylan running the camera here tonight. And, Tony, does it get any bigger here in this area for football than right here, right now, tonight?
Oh, no, absolutely. We're in Farmington, Illinois. Man, they've got such a phenomenal program. Coach Toby Vallis is a phenomenal football coach. They've been very good for a very long time. I got to know, John, how long did you work up that intro? Because that was pitch perfect.
About 30 seconds. Did it on the fly, baby. That's how we do things around here.
And tonight we are sitting here in the bleachers amongst the Farmington faithful. We've had some peace offerings. You know, we're hoping to everybody just wants to see a good football game tonight. And we are out here now. We're in kind of tight quarters. I'd say there's a solid 40% chance at some point I'm going to kick our broadcast table over. So we got that to look forward to. Here come the Farmington Farmers out on the field right now. And John, we got to talk about this. Both teams come in at 5-0. Macomb has played. They've played a lot of similar teams. Farmington last week plays Elmwood Brimfield. They were both 4-0 last week. Farmington ends up beating them 40-0. The 40 is a continuation. They've scored points all year long. They've just put up humongous numbers of points. 33-0, 60-28, 42-18, 54-6, 40-0. But that zero, hanging a zero on Elmwood Brimfield is impressive. This Farmington team ranked number 2 in 2A is for real. Now the Bombers come in, of course, also 5-0, and they're not too bad either, as we all know. 49-8, 22-19. They've played Knoxville 21-6. Illini West 48-22 to West Hancock, and the big game last week with Breeze Mater Dei. Macomb comes out on top 29-20. So a lot of people, John, are going to say, hey, you know, this is a high-flying Farmington team. When you watch them on film, you know, not only do you see the 4 receiver sets, the 11 personnel, 10 personnel. Actually, you don't see 11. You don't see the one thing I didn't notice is a tight end. But a lot of 10 personnel. But guess what? They go empty a lot of times. They put everybody out there. They've got a strong quarterback. Going empty doesn't mean they're throwing, because that could just be designed run play because their quarterback's an athlete. Now, a lot of people say, well, they're going to put up points. They get chunk plays. They push the ball down the field. So you got to match that. No, you don't. You got to sustain drives. Keep the ball out of their offense's hands and put up points. The less time they have to have the football, the less time they have to get it into the end zone. But, John, we're about ready for kickoff right here in Farmington, Illinois.
Looks like Macomb will receive the opening kickoff. And as you went through the scores there for the previous 5 weeks of play, you know, we talked about Farmington. They put up points in bunches, but this Macomb team, they just don't have any quit in them, Tony. We saw that early on in the season against Knoxville, and what a better example than taking a punch right in the face last week against Breeze Mater Dei. You find yourself down 14-0 there in the first quarter, and you come back to win that game. You allow 1 touchdown after that. So this is a Macomb team that has shown that they've been able to battle through adversity throughout the season, and with the way that these Farmers are playing here this season, that's going to be something Macomb might have to do here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be able to take your opponent's best punches, and you got to be able to get up off the mat and keep throwing punches yourself. And it's not just that Breeze game you mentioned. There was also I think it was Knoxville where they had all the turnovers, just an avalanche of turnovers, and they just kept coming. Just kept coming. I did mention that Farmington is number 2 in 2A in the state of Illinois. Macomb is number 10 last I saw in 4A. In Illinois. So a couple of top 10 teams tonight doing battle. Macomb's going to take the ball. It's hard to see. We got a tough angle here tonight.
Yeah, it is tough. It looks like it's right around the 30, 35, somewhere out there.
Looks like about the 31. Oh, 32. We got the scoreboard here. We're smart.
Yeah, use the scoreboard. That's one way to do it. Macomb's opening drive of this contest here. It's going to be handoff up the middle. This is Conley on the run now. He's going to be brought down. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage there. Tough start to that drive.
There was a small hole there, closed up quickly, and Farmington rallies to the football really, really well. But spreading that ball out, they ran to the wing side. something they like to do, bringing Noah Aplogan back into the between the guard and tackle, leading behind him.
Whole house will look to throw here on second down. Looking downfield, he's got a man. That's Kylan McMillan. He's got the ball on the far side, and he's got room to run.
Still on his feet.
Up there.
That's a touchdown, Bombers. There's no laundry on the field. That is a touchdown. John, have we talked about Kylan McMillan literally all season long, that the big moment is coming, and there's no bigger moment than in the first drive of a game against 5-0 and 5-0 teams where you get the long connection to the speedster and bring it into the end zone.
So it's a two-play touchdown drive for the Macomb Bombers. That touchdown comes at 11 minutes and 15 seconds. A huge pass play there to McMillan to get our scoring broken open here tonight. It'll be Cats on for the extra point attempt.
Low line drive, base hit up the middle, but it goes through the uprights, and they all count as one as long as they go through the uprights. So 7-0 Bombers with
15 left to go in the first quarter.
Almost no time off the clock.
7, Farmington 0.
We'll give him about a 70-yard touchdown pass there.
Yeah, that was at the 30.
Right around the 30, yeah. What a way to kick things off here tonight, man. We are starting at a ferocious pace, but now it'll be on the Farmington Farmers. We talked about their offense a little bit during the pregame. Going to have to answer back here after that two-play touchdown drive by the Bombers.
Hey, I just want to point out, too, we've seen that connection just missed several times this year. That was not terrible coverage. He had a step on the cornerback, yeah, but the cornerback is keeping pace with him. That ball had to be thrown perfectly. Couldn't have been thrown too hard on a line, couldn't have had too much air under it. It had to be perfectly to lead him in stride, and that ball was delivered exactly on time, in step.
Whole house put it right in the basket for McMillan. As you mentioned, beautiful throw there. So Bombers get set to kick this one away. Trying to get numbers there or back to receive. I believe it's Jarrett Fauser and number 22, Owen Morse. It's going to be a short kick, though. This might be Bomber football.
That might be Bomber football. That's Bomber football. That's going the other way. So that wasn't a traditional onside. That was come underneath. It was just a little pop up over the front line and just let your speed guys go down there. And there was a Farmington Farmer in the area, but the ball hit the ground, it bounced around, and it bounced into a white jersey's hands.
So Macomb will take over now after recovering that kick on their Farmers 40, I should say. So can't draw up a much better start than this for Macomb, especially if you're able to punch in another touchdown here. We'll see what they do. It's going to be a pitch play. This is going to be to McMillan once again. He's to the outside. He's going to be tripped up, but a nice solid gain there. Tackle by Jarrett Fauser.
It's a good 6-yard gain on the counter reverse, but the safety, number 1, comes all the way across the field and makes, we talk about it every week, but those Pete Carroll video hawk tackle series, he just goes low, wraps up the ankles and rolls through it and makes a phenomenal open field tackle.
McMillan's run will go for about 6 or 7 there. Macomb now basically right in front of us. This is going to be a handoff for number 23. That's going to be close to a first down. That's Drake May on the carry for Macomb.
Looked like he lunged right over the yard to gain. That's a traditional, just right up the middle. That's a, I didn't even see that it was an ISO. I just think that's just line them up, block downhill, and give the ball off. We're under center tonight with 2 backs.
May picks up the first down. This is
driving your legs. Nice run by Noah Aplogan. And you know what we talked about? He doesn't get big chunk yardage, but he gets tough yardage. And that was that quick hit right through the middle. And the thing is he was stacked up at about 1 yard past the line to gain, but his shoulders go down, his knees chug, and he picks up about 3.
2nd and 7 now for the Macomb Bombers on their second drive of the contest after recovering the kickoff. Holt House is going to look to hand it off once again. This is Drake May, I believe, on the carry. He's going to go for positive yardage. Maybe about 2 yards there on the carry for May. It's going to set up about 3rd and 5 now for Macomb.
On the carry, brought down by number 20, Griffin Olm. 3rd down.
Now, we've talked about this a lot, John. This isn't one of those ones where you need the 5 yards. You're in 4-down territory, squarely in 4-down territory. So you've got 2 opportunities here.
Whole house with man in the backfield. Hard count there. Flags will come out. So that'll be 5 positive yards for Macomb on their first penalty of the game.
Offside penalty against the Farmers.
That is one of the top 5, if not top 3, most called plays by Coach Tanner Horrell. I talked to him about it on the sidelines of a junior high game the other night. He kind of laughed a little bit. He's like, yeah. Oh, nice.
Whole house on the keeper here. He's going to the first down and more. Pushes us all the way up to inside the Farmers 10.
House on the carry.
2 things I love about that, John. Number 1, you spread the field out. You show the quick. You show the now route out to the inside slot receiver. Drew Watson steps back. Drew Watson, of course, as we know, commands a lot of attention. He steps back for the now route, and Braden Holdhouse opens his shoulders and then just tucks it down. But number 2, holds on to the football. The Farmington Farmers linebackers were doing everything they could to get after that ball.
Great play there by Farmington, able to get into the backfield and take May down. He's going to lose a yard or maybe there.
Passmore. He's second down.
Colt Passmore in on the stop for Farmington. That's going to set up 2nd and 9 to the goal line now for Macomb.
Yeah, Farmington's running this little 3-3 stack on the inside, and those linebackers did a great job of filling right there. And there it is again.
Second time we've seen that this drive now. As you mentioned, most called play, we've already seen it twice here.
Offside penalty against the Farmers.
And I talked to Coach Horrell about it. Every single team that we play after, starting in week 3 has 2 weeks of film on us. And in both of those games, you're going to see that play called 6, 8, 10 times or more, and it works every week.
About 7 yards to go now. Should be shorter than that. Here's Holthouse now, looking for the end zone. He's got a little bit of room to work with out there. He's going to be able to push it. Looks like he's going to get it inside the Farmers 5.
He gets right to about the 5. That's making something out of nothing. That was an action play. We fake the handoff to the halfback. We pull it up. We're looking for an inside slant. That's exactly what we're seeing, John. We've talked about this. Having Hayden Katz is such a luxury. And Coach Horrell right now, from about the 4-yard line, says, you know what, I've got more confidence that we can go. We know Hayden Katz is nearly automatic on extra points. This isn't much different than an extra point. Macomb just calls a timeout.
Timeout, Macomb.
I'm not sure if he's rethinking it or if there was something wrong with his formation.
So that timeout, we'll take a quick break as well. Bombers lead the Farmers 7-0 here in the first quarter. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live's presentation of Honor Bros and Heating and Cooling's Bombers football.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here at Farmington High School, as the Bombers are in field goal range. They have the ball on about the Farmers' 4-yard line. We saw them just a minute ago set up to go for the field goal. It looks like they're going to trot whole house out there.
Offense is back on the field.
So 4 yards to the goal line for Macomb. And what a huge score this would be if they could get it. Whole house throws it to the outside.
Touchdown, Bombers. That's the little out route to Mr. Beal. Right out there. And you know what? We've talked about it before. That's the choice route. He comes out, he splits all the way out, he gets his one-on-one, and he reads the leverage. If he's inside, we're going out. If he's outside, we're hitting a quick slant. He reads the leverage, hits the out route, and that ball is put just inside the pylon, and we've got a 13-0 lead, and we're going to make it 14 right here.
Great play call there by Coach Horrell. And again, we saw Holthouse and Beal connect on a similar play last weekend against Breeze Mater Dei. And with the Cats' extra point, which is good, we will see the Bombers take a 14-0 lead over the Farmington Farmers We will take a quick break here as we'll get set for hopefully what will be the Farmers' first offensive drive of the game. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
Back once again, 14-0 is the score. That touchdown and the extra point came at 6 minutes and 7 seconds to go here in the opening quarter of play. Macomb will get set to kick things away once again.
We were just talking off air that this is the opposite of what happened last week with Breeze. Breeze taking the lead, and obviously Macomb righting the ship. Big turnover, turns that game around. Macomb comes back and just takes absolute control of that football game. So this is, you can't get too full of yourself. Your game plan has to stay intact, and it's all gas, no brakes. Just keep doing what brought you to this point and keep your foot down. But we do get the first look at this powerful Farmington offense.
That was Owen Morse on the return for Farmington. First play here is going to be a handoff up the middle. Nice run play there. I believe that's number 34 on the carry, Logan Utt.
Logan Utt, we remember from last year, he has a lot. He is a very talented young man.
So the first play from scrimmage for Farmington will go for about 7 yards on the run to Utt.
One of the challenges for the defense here tonight is you've got to put a ton of attention on number 11. The quarterback, Lane Wheelwright, he can throw, he can run, he can do it all. So you put a ton of attention on the quarterback, Wheelwright, and then you're not putting as much attention on Utt and on some of these other guys.
Another run play to Utt will go for positive yardage. It's going to be third and short here now for Farmington. We'll give up about 3 yards on his second carry of the game. Wheelwright will take the snap, and he's going to look to scramble to the far side, trying to pick up a block downfield. He does. He's going to fall forward for the first down, and that's going to be a pretty nice chunk of yardage there for Wheelwright.
Yeah, he picks up about 5. Macomb does a nice job of stretching it out. They took on the lead block and stonewalled it, created a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, if not behind it. But Utt's able to sneak off back hip, and we didn't have that trailing back that we've had in previous weeks on that pursuit. And he's able to shoot forward and pick up about 4.
4 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. After the Farmers' first down, Wheelwright's going to look to throw this time. It's going to be a screen pass to the outside. Stiff arm there. That pass was caught by number 10. That's Carter Lambin. And he's going to go for about 3 yards there on the first passing play of the game for Farmington.
Yeah, that's a nice play on both sides. He is wrapped up by the corner, or actually by outside linebacker, and he just kept running. Very powerful run, able to pick up, like we talked about with Holdhouse. He made something out of nothing.
Second and 8. Hard count there. Wheelwright will hand it off to Utt up the middle once again, as he's going to go for more yards there. I believe that was number 77 and on the stop for Macomb, Alex Brown.
Be third down.
We haven't seen that signature rally to the football yet. Farmington's doing a great job on their blocks. They're climbing to the second level, which is a clear effort to eliminate some of that, 4 and 5, the waves of Macomb defenders that we've seen in previous week. And their feeling is if they can get 1 or 2 defenders at the point of attack, they're going to be able to run through that.
Wheelwright in the backfield for Farmington. Wheelwright will look to throw this one. He's going to have a man towards the sideline, a little bit high there. Pass was intended for number 1, Jarrett Fauser.
Now that's one of those things right there on that first pass attempt that I wanted to talk about earlier, but things have just been happening so quickly. Farmington's put up a ton of points, but what I have seen on film is the quarterback's been able to dissect the field. There has not been a lot of pressure. Farmington has a very strong offensive line, but one of Macomb's hallmarks is getting hats to the quarterback. He faced pressure there. The release point, his elbow went high, and that ball sailed high over the receiver's head.
4th and 4 play. Wheelwright's going to look deep downfield. He's hit as he's thrown, but that's going to be caught by Fauser. He's able to make the connection there, and it's going to be a first down for Farmington.
Folks, the quarterback just answered that question about whether he can play under pressure. He was in the process of being sacked. He was wrapped up going to the ground and put the ball on a dot in the receiver's hands on the sideline. Receiver did a great job staying in bounds, but that ball was perfect from being tackled. That's impressive.
Pass play there would go for 17 yards on the connection. And Farmington starting to march towards the Macomb end zone. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Wheelwright will hand off to up the middle once again. Much better job there by the Macomb line, able to slow him down. It'll be about a yard gain for
Caleb Hunter in on the
That's
stop.
4th carry of the contest so far.
Second down.
You can't go away from running between the tackles. Farmington does spread out the field, and there's probably going to be teams that probably apex that inside slot, meaning they split the difference between the last man on the line of scrimmage and that inside slot player to try and stay closer inside and inside the fit.
Look at a blitz there for Macomb. Farmington's able to get the screen to the outside. As we go for a nice chunk of yards there.
That's a really nice run because that ball, there was a white jersey in his face behind the line of scrimmage. That could have been a big loss, and he was very patient with it. He waited for his blockers, saw the seam, shot forward, and picked up about 8.
That pass was complete to Jack Grunwald. I expect to see him on the basketball court this season for Farmington. Here's another run for I believe he's going to have the first down. Again, we're at a bit of an awkward angle, but it looks like he's got it. And that'll bring us to 2 minutes as the clock will stop after the first down.
Man, and you go back, you think about key plays on drives. That impressive completion by Wheelwright earlier was on 4th and 4. And again, Noah App-Logan had blitzed through, had him in his grasp, and he completes the pass as he's being sacked for the 17-yard first down completion. Yeah,
that was the biggest chunk yard play of the game, and it couldn't come at a better time on 4th down. Looking to the end zone here. There's got hands on the receiver. Farmington fans are asking for a flag. I don't believe one is going to come.
I think that what the official is looking at there is uncatchable, that the ball sailed over the head.
That was Beal there on the pass coverage. Pass was intended for Fauser. So the clock will stop on the incompletion as Farmington took a stab at the end zone there. Sets up 2nd and 10 on the Bombers' 18.
Farmington stays in formation. They've got stacked twins to the near side, tight stacked twins to the boundary. One back's on a swing. They go to the back on the swing.
This is now reeling in that pass play there. Had a little bit of open field to work with there, but Bombers were able to bring him down.
Picked up about 4. There's got to be somebody that's assigned to that back that goes with him on the swing route. And it looked like there wasn't a release until he'd actually caught the ball, and that's when we darted out towards him. But the closing speed of, was that Hogue?
I believe it was Hogue or Watson out there.
Able to make that tackle.
3rd and 6, clock rolls under a minute. We'll look to the near sideline, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout called here. It'll be charged to Farmington.
Timeout, Farmers.
We will keep it here for this one, get through some of our live reads. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron L.B. Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in, talk to Justin, Jerry, Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. Since 1960, Our Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the Greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. Of course, Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling is sponsoring all Macomb athletics this season. Macomb's volleyball was able to pick up a big win last night against the Southeastern Suns. They are undefeated on the season as the volleyball teams march closer to the postseason. So pair of undefeated teams here in the fall time for Macomb. Of course, we're seeing the football team here tonight and the volleyball team last night. It's a great year to be a Bomber sports fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Rexroth's doing another fine job putting together another phenomenal volleyball season.
3rd and 6 play for Farmington coming out of the timeout. Wheelwright drops back to pass, looks to the far sideline. This ball is going to be overthrown just a tad. Man, I thought that thing was going to sail a lot further than it did.
Well, again, it's our angle. There was a lot more real estate there because they were just outside the near hash. They weren't in the middle of the field. So there was a lot more room to work, which is why they went with that corner route. His goal was just to out-throw the coverage where only his receiver could catch it, which is where he did. He had an opportunity to make a play there right at the boundary. We did have a cornerback there with him in Beal.
Pass was intended for Lambin, so now you have another huge 4th down play. Farmington was able to complete one earlier on in the drive to keep things moving. Going to need another one here. Ball on the Macomb 14. Wheelwright to pass, looking to the far boundary once again, and
oh, no.
Flags come out.
Pass is incomplete, but there is a penalty flag on
I
the
can't tell
play.
if that was Watson or McMillan there on the coverage. I think it was Watson.
That we can't see that from here, but obviously the official felt that it's a lot of contact. I couldn't see through the action at the line of scrimmage, but obviously there was contact. Pass interference has been called, and that'll be a 1st down for Farmington, which is that's a couple of times where those 4th down stops were right there for the Bombers, and one time the quarterback makes a phenomenal play. The next time a flag moves the chains.
So I believe that was actually McMillan out there on the far sideline in pass coverage that picked up that penalty.
Farmer 1st down.
So now after the pass interference, Farmington will have it on about the Macomb 7-yard line, it would appear. Wheelwright hands it off to Utt. Nice gap to jump through there for Utt.
Logan Utt on the carry for the Farmers.
He's going to have that thing close to the goal line. They're going to mark him just short.
Yeah, that's about a 6-yard gain, right up to about the 1. Oh, they got a 5-yard gain to the 2. That's probably a short 2, long 1 type situation. And that time they had a 3-receiver set. You could call it 11 personnel. That wing back is functioning basically as a tight end.
So about a yard to go here. They'll go to Utt once again. We got flag down on the play. It looks like Utt was brought up short.
On the carry. There is a penalty
The
flag
horn sounds to signify the end of the 1st quarter.
They want to rectify this before they flip it, though. Looks like a hold. Do you go 3rd and 2, or do you go 2nd and 7, 2nd and 12? Looks like they're going to take the walk-off, yeah, absolutely.
So after that, that'll bring us to the end of the opening quarter of play. Bombers lead the Farmers 14-0 here in Farmington. But Farmers knocking on the door. We'll take a quick break and be back with you for the 2nd quarter. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH for Arbor's Heat and Cooling's presentation of Bombers football.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
Back here at Farmington High School, 14-0, Bombers lead the Farmers. But just 2 or I believe, actually after the penalty, it's going to march Farmington back some. Looks like they're going to have it right around the Macomb 12, 13-yard line. So that's where they would take over to start quarter number 2.
Looks like we have tight bunch to the far side.
We're all going to look to throw here. We got a flag down.
Looks like false start.
Be a false start.
On the play is against the Farmers.
So back-to-back penalties now for the Farmers. You get the hold on the false start there. Marches back 15 yards. They had it all the way up on the 2-yard line. But now you're faced with second and 18 to the goal line.
Yeah, second goal from the 18. So the very first pass, it looked like Alex Brown applying pressure up the middle. And then you had the Noah Applogan near sack on 4th and 4. Other than that, we haven't seen a lot of pressure. I'd really love to see some pressure on the quarterback. And there's the blitz. Ball is sent up.
Almost able to pull that one was Gronwald. Man, we got to put that there for him. Gronwald just couldn't pull it in.
That was an absolutely perfect pass, and it was falling right into the breadbasket. Looked like he shortened up his arms a little bit, and it went right off the fingertips.
And again, that was real right face with a little bit of pressure there, able to put a ball in a pretty good spot. We got Langdon Allen in the chat saying, "Let's go Macomb," former Bombers football player.
Oh, yeah, Booger Allen, phenomenal receiver, defensive back. And, guys, jump into that chat. Let us know where you're listening from, watching from. Back to pass again. Line's doing a great job, completes it.
Gronwald trying to make a move to the end zone. Hasn't been brought down yet. He's going to get the pylon. It'll be a touchdown Farmers for Jack Gronwald. We're right to Gronwald connection. Good for 6 for the Farmers.
Yeah, Gronwald goes out and finds some open grass, settles in to the spot in the middle of the zone, makes that completion, makes one guy miss, and then it looks like the next defender went for the ball to try and knock the ball out of his hands, and he sidesteps the outside linebacker to step into the end zone for the touchdown.
Touchdown comes 11 minutes, 48 seconds in the second quarter. Will Wright looking to pass here on the 2-point conversion. He's going to throw an interception.
Can't go anywhere.
Doesn't matter. So the 2-point conversion will fall short. I said sport because I was looking. We got the Sports Corner saying big crowd cheering on the Bombers at Sports Corner. Of course, Sports Corner at 124, one of our fine sponsors here on TSSR Game Time Live. Appreciate everyone who's tuning in and listening to us there. So 14-6 is the score. Bombers will look to take over after the Farmers touchdown. There's 11 minutes and 48 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. We'll take a quick break and be back with you here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
So Farmington able to answer there on that drive. We got Bruce Burton watching from Good Hope. I think I might know that guy. Appreciate you tuning in.
Got one of our tried and trues wanting to know what happened to our game clock from last week.
It's either game clock or stats. We got to do one or the other.
We got to do one or the other. We can't handle both situations. Sorry, Norm. Had to let the game clock go this week, but it's 11:48 left in the half. Hey, those of you at Sports Corner, if Mr. Kerr, Mr. McKee are in the house, if somebody wants to take a picture of that crowd and text that to me, that'd be phenomenal.
So the kickoff goes out of bounds.
I think it's about time for that crowd to get fired up right now. This is a huge drive right now. You've stormed out to the 2-touchdown lead. You had your field goal unit on the field, called the timeout, pulled them off, brought the offense back out, dialed up the right number, got the touchdown, and then Farmington marches down the field, takes up a ton of time off the clock, and had 2 near 4th down stops that they end up picking up. That's that's that away jersey. That's Malachi Conley coming up for about 3 yards through the middle. And again, just like we talked about with Farmington, you got to keep attacking between the tackles. Bring those linebackers in, keep them true. Don't let them start leaking out.
So the run play by the Bombers there goes for about 2, 2nd and 8 now for Macomb. Hulett will look to the sideline once again. Todd Moon in the chat saying, great night for Bombers football. Absolutely. Hulett throws it up over the middle. That pass is caught and brought down.
I'll say 2 things. Number 1, I wish I'd said it out loud. I saw the bubble of the safety over Drew Watson, and I said this is a great time for a now route. But boy, did they close on that quick. Phenomenal defensive effort by the Farmington Farmers to close down and shut that down. That quick route that looked like it was primed for a big gain.
The pass play to Watson goes for about 4 there, which sets up 3rd and 4 for Macomb. Hulett will keep this one almost taken down in the backfield. Hulett is able to break free up close to the line of scrimmage. Again, it's hard to tell from our point of view. I think he's going to be
about
short.
2 yards short. 4th and 2, you are just short of midfield.
Be 4th down.
Looks like Macomb will get set to go for it. On their own 45. A little bit of trouble there on the snap for Hulett. Trying to break it to the near side. He's brought down once again.
That's really close to the line again. That high snap causes him to catch his feet.
Number 59, Garrett Perkins in on the stop. Bombers are going to be just short.
Bombers will take over, 1st and 10.
So Farmington will take over here. Basically on the Macomb 46. And again, we talked about kind of the role reversal after the 2 quick Macomb scores. They were up 14-0 of the game we saw last week where Macomb was down 14-0. It's one of those situations you got to keep your foot on the pedal when you can. And now Farmington, if they're able to score a touchdown 2-point here, is going to tie things back up after that quick start by Macomb. Big defensive drive here for the Bombers. Right, passes it out to the outside. This is Lambin. He's still on his feet, looking to pick up a block downfield. He does. Logan trying to take him down, and he's eventually brought down. He's up past the 30, close to the 25.
Drew Watson had a beat on him, but there's a lot of purple jerseys out there. It was difficult to get through traffic. The young man with the football makes a nice move and ends up getting a big gain.
That was Carter Lambin on the reception. We ride up to 66 yards unofficially. Right, this time they'll go to Utt. Throws out the stiff arm there. He's going to be brought down by a couple Bombers there. Logan in on the stop, but the carry from Utt will go for about 4 or 5 there.
Bolte in on the stop for the Bombers. It'll be 2nd down.
A lot of similar sets to what Macomb runs, a lot of similar plays. Actually, those now routes are very successful for Farmington thus far. You make a pass right out around the line of scrimmage or within a couple yards, and you end up picking up, here's a jet pull to the quarterback, and it is a wide open lane to the end zone. Again, straight out of the Bombers playbook. You have jet motion across the field, try to move the feet of the linebackers, and the quarterback keeps and has a huge lane. He goes untouched into the end zone.
Great play call there by Farmington. You fake the jet sweep there forward. Groenwald, Wheelwright keeps it, and as you mentioned, virtually untouched on his way to the end zone. It's a 23-yard touchdown run for Wheelwright. That comes in 8 minutes and 19 seconds. 2-point conversion will tie us up here if Farmington's able to convert. Looking towards the far boundary, and I think he's going to be brought up just short. Great job there by the Bombers defense, able to swarm him and stop the 2-point conversion short. So the Bombers will still lead by 2. Again, touchdown comes at 8 minutes and 19 seconds.
I'm trying to get a number on that. Was that Thunderbolty that just did a phenomenal job? He was not near the point of attack. That catch comes out on that yo-yo motion, meaning that the motion comes in towards the line of scrimmage and then releases out towards the sideline. And outside linebacker streaks across the field and catches through the legs, rolls him up, and catches him short of the goal line.
And we saw how important last week against Breeze Mater Day, how important, those stops on those 2-point conversion tips can be. We'll see if that'll have some dividends down the stretch for Macomb in this contest. Again, 14-12 Bombers lead.
Bombers need to make something happen with this drive. As you know, the momentum of the 2-possession game, Farmington will get the ball to start the second half. So what you don't want to have happen is Macomb's drive falls short, stalls out at some point. The Farmers get the ball back with a lot of time to work. They score before halftime.
Another short kick
and then
there.
get the ball back.
Caden Nupp, and on the hands team, able to reel it in for Macomb. They'll take over around the 25.
The wind at our backs right now. I wonder if you're going to get another one of those Kylan McMillan downfield shots.
Yeah, and really outside of that play for Macomb, there hasn't been too many chunk yard plays. Farmington's defense playing well to start this contest. So again, Bombers with it on their own 26. This is going to be handed off up the middle. It's going to be a short gain there for Conley.
Shepard and Olm and on the stops for the Farmers.
That was almost identical to the first play of the game, and the very next play was the deep shot to McMillan, who's now on the near side, one-on-one.
Whole house will look for McMillan. It's a little stick route there. McMillan's going to have the first down. He's pushed out of bounds right around the 40.
Pass caught by Kylan McMillan.
And I think that's a wonderful play call by Tanner Horrell. Cornerbacks in one-on-one coverage with McMillan. He'd already been burnt for the 70-yard touchdown. So you go ahead, you open his hips up, you get him to buy the go route, plant your foot, come back to the football, and then pick up the line to gain.
Sports Corner first down for Macomb. Whole house is going to keep this one, fake the handoff to Petty. To be brought down by number 20. That's Griffin Olm.
That's an inside read right there, and you could see that Holthouse was reading that as he had it in, and it looked like Farmington just did a phenomenal job of filling all lanes.
7 minutes and 20 seconds in the second quarter to play. Clock continues to run here. Macomb 2nd and 9. It's going to be a screen pass outside for Watson. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds. A swarm of players there on the far sideline. He's going to be just short of the first down, I do believe.
Should be some forward progress, though. They drove him back.
Pass was complete.
Boy, they gave him a little of it back. Just short of the line to gain. It's going to be 3rd and about 1. That was a great time to call that now route out on the outside edge, because that outside linebacker came in and was blitzing off the edge, so that bubble didn't have any help.
3rd and 1. Whole House will keep this one, making a move. He's got a little room to work with here. He's going to have the first down, of course.
Holthouse on the carry, brought down by number 10, Carter Lambin.
The run for Whole House will go for about 10 yards there. Whole House 5 carries in this game so far for 26 yards. Sports Corner first down for Macomb. 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Whole House will keep it this time. Great read there by Farmington. Is that number 20 again? That's Olm. able to bring Holthouse down in the backfield. That's going to be minus 2 yards there. Really just a great job there by Ulm. Didn't get faked out on the handoff there. And is able to bring up Holthouse behind the chains. Hard count once again, number 27, Cole Passmore jumps off sides, so the Bombers will get those yards back. Get those yards back there.
Offsides penalty against the Farmers. Will still be second down.
5 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the second quarter.
So essentially that 2-yard loss becomes a 3-yard gain. You got 2nd and 7. So we talked about it this week. We didn't know. Farmington's got a lot of phenomenal athletes. We did not think that they would, as Breeze did, use the bracket coverage on Drew Watson, but we are seeing that. We're seeing bracket coverage on Watson.
Holthouse looking deep downfield once again. This ball is going to be way overthrown for McMillan. That was number 22, Owen Morse, and number 13, Jack Gronwald.
McMillan also had an inside release on the cornerback, meaning that he brought his route to the inside of the field to beat the press coverage off the line. And it looked like that ball was thrown, that Braden was anticipating an outside release, so there might have been a little bit of a crossed wire on the route.
Clock stopped after the incompletion, just under 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
I think he also got rid of it a little sooner than he wanted. There was pressure.
3rd and 7. Play action pass. Holthouse looking deep downfield once again. Pass intended for Watson will fall incomplete once again. So that's going to set up 4th down now for Macomb. 4th and 7.
4th down.
And again, you talked about when Macomb started this drive, if Farmington's able to pick up a stop here and maybe push the ball the other direction into the end zone, they get the kickoff to start the second half. So that would be a pretty wicked turn of momentum. Really huge 4th down play here for the Bombers.
He definitely knew that hard count was coming. Farmington knew it as well. They were able to hold their water.
4th and 7, Holthouse. Play action once again, scrambles to the far sideline, almost brought down there, trying to make something happen. And Holthouse will be sacked. A swarm of Farmers taking Holthouse down. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Farmington's defense rallying here after the quick 2 touchdowns by Macomb. They have been stout since giving up that second touchdown. Really, Farmington will take over 4 minutes and 47 seconds to drive down the field.
Now Macomb is winning the turnover battle by a pretty wide margin on the year. Even with that, I guess it's not that wide of a margin, but even with that blip against Knoxville, they need one of those takeaways. The problem is Farmington is very careful with the football.
This is going to be on the carry.
They hold on to the football on the ground, and the passing game isn't high risk.
Logan on the carry for the Farmers, brought down by number
App
33.
Logan, Hector Mamie, Alex Brown, Brendan Bolte.
2nd down.
And on the stop for Macomb. Short gain there for it goes for about 2. Right, direct snap. Scrambles to the far sideline. And Bombers. I thought they had him in his grasp. Wheelwright is able to break through. Great job there by Lane Wheelwright. That's going to be a 1st down for Farmington.
Wow.
Man, Macomb did such a great,
They get to that's close to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage. And again, he slips back towards the field, towards the middle of the field. It's like they're over pursuing. We got to have somebody that's trailing that back hip and coming inside out. We can't assume that the first guy's got the tackle. We all have to bring the ball carrier down. These are hard runners.
3 minutes, 45 seconds. Wheelwright takes a snap once again. Drops back to throw. He's going to throw it deep towards the near sideline. Looking for Gronwald. He's got it. Did keep the feet in bounds. Still waiting to signal. They're going to say incomplete. Coverage downfield by Beal. Heck of a grab there by Gronwald.
That's a phenomenal catch. High school, you only need 1 foot. Not sure if he was able to get that, you know, and
It'll be second down.
not sure if we'll be able to see it on a replay, but it looked like the cornerback slowed down to turn around and track the football. Face guarding is now legal in high school for several years. That was when I was there, right before I was there actually, that had been changed. So you want to just stay right with your receiver and read his eyes.
So the completion there starts the clock. We're going to have a Farmers timeout, their second of the first half. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play before the halftime break. We'll keep it here during this timeout.
Farmington.
That's a really smart timeout right there by Toby Vallis. You can see that his team felt like they had a long completion right down there in the shadow of the end zone. A lot of emotions. He doesn't yell at the officials. He calls the timeout, brings his team together, and they're all like, hey, calm down. We've been moving the football. You just worry about playing football. Don't worry about things that you cannot control. On the other side, the Macomb Bombers have the opportunity to bring it in and say, okay, we got away with one there. Whether it's the right call or wrong call doesn't matter, but it was obviously very close to a big play, a big chunk play. Just get back to doing what you're doing. Get pressure on the quarterback, watch the run, and we've got to stick with these receivers a little bit better. You can't give them such a cushion.
We're right, fakes the handoff.
Quarterback again. This time they bottled it up.
We got a flag down on the play.
Was that a flag or a ball mark?
Playing wheelwright on the carry. There is a penalty
Oh, that
flag
is
on
a
the play.
yep. Good eye, John.
Holding penalty against the Farmers.
It'll be a hold on Farmington. So I'll set them back 5 yards there. Really wasn't much going on the carry for wheelwright to start. Much better job by the Bombers.
So it's declined. Goes to 3rd and 10.
Dang.
Penalty is declined.
So now they've got 2 shots at 10 yards rather than 3 shots
down.
at 15. And as we've seen, they can gain yards in bunches. So Coach Horrell deciding that the 5 yards wasn't as big as a consideration as limiting the opportunities.
Yeah, but now you got to come up with a stop here on 3rd and 9. 3 minutes and 30 seconds before halftime. Wheelwright going to look to the near sideline for Gronwald. Nice blocking downfield for Farmington. He's going to be brought down. I believe he's going to have the first down there. It's brought down by Nolan Hogue.
See, they do such a really nice job of blocking those now routes, those quicks, those outside quicks, because there are a lot of Bombers in the area, but they can't get their hands on the wide receiver. And then couple that with the fact that they've got tough runners. So you're not going to be able to make a hand on the jersey, bring him down. You're not going to be able to arm tackle. You got to get through those blockers, and you got to tackle through the thighs.
It's a 10-yard completion from Wheelwright to Gronwald. Sets the Farmington Farmers up on the Bombers 35. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And this play will be blown dead.
Delay.
Penalty against the Farmers. Delay of game. Let's go!
5-yard penalty there on the delay of game.
1st and 15.
Should be a hot clock once they get it set.
And Farmington just one more timeout.
That should have been a hot clock.
Bombers
quarterback
to rush here. Wheelwright on the keeper. He's going to be brought down. He falls forward for a few there.
On the carry.
Good job by Hector Mamie. He makes the initial contact, but we've seen a lot of that tonight. We've seen Farmers run through initial contact. Hector Mamie is able to hold on and bring him down to the ground.
Let's go! Let's go, lineman!
Clock continues to run. 2 minutes, 15 seconds for Farmington. Wheelwright will look to pass. He's going to have a man in Gronwald. And he actually dropped it there. Might have heard footsteps by Beal. Turned to go downfield, but didn't have the ball secured yet.
He catches that ball. He's in the end zone. What he was setting up to do was catch that football and make a bounce to the inside of the field, which is a lot of what Farmington's done tonight. They've worked back inside to the field, and it looks like the Bombers are coming outside. They need to have that inside-out leverage.
Wheelwright looking to pass once again. He'll scramble towards the far sideline. Macomb trying to get a little pressure on him. They're going to get to him here and able to bring Wheelwright down. It's going to be a loss there. Great job there on the pursuit by the Bombers.
Absolutely great job, but I tell you what, Johnny, that's a coverage sack right there. Why is the clock not going?
There it goes. It is now.
It shouldn't have stopped. That's a coverage sack right there. Wheelwright had all day to throw that football. He's able to look. He looked at his main read. He looked all the way backside before leaking out to the right. That was about a 7-second transaction before and he had linebackers in conflict. He had linebackers in conflict where they didn't want to come up because they didn't want him to throw it over them. So a defensive lineman had to go up to get him to pull the ball down, and then the linebackers released. They were able to surround him so he didn't leak back to the middle of the field, and they got that sack.
4th and 15 for Farmington after a pretty decent defensive stance to this point for Macomb. They called their last time out here in the half. Face-to-face over the phone, by email, or by text. Choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. King Family Chiropractic with locations of Bushnell and Macomb support all area student athletes. They offer office hours in Macomb Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. To set an appointment, call 309-837-6932. They also perform DOT/CDO physicals for just $85.
So you got 4th and 15 right now. Farmers are 2 for 2, picking up 4th down plays. We talked about it a lot, but they had the play with a phenomenal play by the quarterback, and then Macomb had the stop. And then the pass interference penalty gives them the opportunity to continue the drive. And Coach Horrell calls a timeout here. That's a great idea. Saw what Farmington came out in, saw the set. You're looking at possibly some sort of gadget play. By that, a double pass, a reverse, outside in counter, or it could just be that they're going to stick, obviously they've had chunk yardage. They could just play their playbook and expect that they're going to pick up 15 yards.
This 4th and 15 play will come with 1 minute and 34 seconds on the clock.
What I think Farmington's coach, Toby Vallis, has seen is they do not have to push this ball 15 yards down the field. They can put the ball in the hands of one of their playmakers and trust that playmaker to get the yards after catch to get to the line of game. Bombers have to get pressured in the backfield, make the quarterback uncomfortable, although as we've seen, other than the initial pass, he's almost better when he's uncomfortable. So coverage has to be tight. We can't lose guys in spaces in zone. He's looking back this way to the middle of the field.
Going to be just a bit high there for Grunwald, so the Bombers will take over with 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock.
They still do have 1 timeout in their pocket, so they don't have to work the sidelines. And high school football, of course, the clock stops on first downs. So anytime you move the sticks, you're going to get a chance to readjust.
So Bombers take over on their own 40 after the incompletion from Wheelwright to Grunwald. 1st and 10 for Macomb. Again, 1 minute and 30 seconds left to work here before halftime. House will start with the fake handoff. He's going to look deep downfield.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
This could be intercepted just through the hands of Morse there on the coverage.
We got to watch that a little more closely. I'm not sure if our receivers are getting free release off of the line. because it seems like Holdhouse is expecting them to be further down the field. The timing is off.
They had that one big completion to McMillan, kind of in a similar situation. They were able to connect with him deep, but
Apologize for the language in the crowd.
as Holthouse will take a knee here, it looks like Macomb's going to be content with sending this thing to halftime.
Yeah, you're in negative territory right now, a minute and a half to work with, and one timeout. You don't want to give the ball back to a high-powered Farmington offense. You took one shot, and now you're content to go into halftime with the lead. Farmington does get the ball back after the half, so you don't want to give them an opportunity for a two-possession swing.
So after that kneel there by Holthouse, that's going to be what will send us to the break. Macomb jumps out to an early 14-0 lead over Farmington, but again, the Farmers able to take that punch right in the mouth. They bounce back with 2 touchdowns. They failed on both of their extra point opportunities. So that'll bring us to 14-12 at the halftime break. Again, somebody who has got to go here tonight at Farmington High School. Bombers have the lead at halftime. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be right back with you after the halftime break.
And welcome back. I'm here with Emily Alden now. And Emily, patient advocate, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
That sounds like a title that encompasses a whole lot. Let's first put it in simple words if you can, and then we'll kind of go in depth with it a little bit.
Yes, as the patient advocate, there is a lot to do in the role, but it's a fantastic opportunity. So generally speaking, I will help patients. I will talk about the service that they have here and just in general measure the patient experience for the entire organization.
Well, speaking of knowing the entire organization, kind of the theme has been everybody knows everybody at MDH because you're a smaller rural hospital, even though MDH offers a lot. You literally have to probably know everybody or most everybody because you need to know what each thing's going to happen if that patient's dealing with it.
Yes, that's very true. When I first stepped into the role about a year ago, it was really an interesting and fantastic opportunity to get to know all of the departments, how they work together and individually, and just to see the well-oiled machine.
Well, patient care, obviously, at a hospital is key. You're a key part of that. What is it about patient care at MDH that makes MDH special?
Service excellence internally to provide the best patient care is top of mind here for all of our staff across every single level, every single department, and the organization as a whole. It's a big focus. So we make sure that we take care of our patients and that they have the best experience possible. We're very open to feedback. We always want to improve in areas that we can improve. So we always have open ears. We always appreciate the feedback that we receive.
You are working with all departments. And when a patient comes in, let's say they come into the ER, and then they come to ICU, and then they go to the floor, your job kind of is to let the patients know what you can do, right, or what you offer, or what they can do. Am I missing that? Is that correct?
Yes, actually, our case management department is instrumental with that side of things. Every once in a while, I'll step in and just check in on patients, see how their experience overall is going, to collect that feedback and see if we can implement any changes to make it even better.
So you deal with patients in so many different departments, and really they can go all the way from getting here in the ER to physical therapy on the way out, right?
Yes, absolutely. So MDH has a lot to offer our patients. So while you're here, if you're just running in for some outpatient tests, whether it's lab work or visiting our radiology department, convenience clinic, visiting your primary care provider over at MDH Family Clinic, emergency room, labor and delivery. There are so many different departments that work so well together, and our team is a family. The organization in itself is a family, and so everybody does a great job at trying to understand what departments do that aren't their own, so that way we can make it a seamless experience for our patients.
Well, and then as a patient advocate, right, you just kind of all that together and look at it, right, and then see as patient A comes through, what can we do to make patient B, who might follow them, a little bit better next time?
Absolutely.
So as you do that, what kind of things do you look for? I mean, what I would imagine with MDH as it continues to improve, you start looking for smaller things, right? So the obvious things are maybe gone. So then you start looking at little things to make the sometimes the worst experience of their life, right, a little bit better as they work through.
Yes, most definitely. So you never know what kind of day somebody's having when they walk through our doors, and you don't know what they're necessarily here for. So it's important to keep an open mind and take a look at what can we ask them that's specific to their experience. Why are they here? Comfort them and make sure that we ask the right questions so that we can purposefully pull out information that we can work on.
Yeah, and I think we've talked a lot about different things from different people. You're, besides Bill, the CEO, you're the one person that kind of helps with, like, it gets your hands in a little bit of everything as far as the patient is concerned. Everybody's talked about it being a family, and you've even mentioned it being a family. Does the fact that everybody knows everybody as far as employees, from the CEO down to the CNAs, does that kind of make your job a little bit easier?
Absolutely. When you're a family, you care about each other, and we are all here for one purpose, and that is to provide the best experience for our patients that we possibly can. So when you are a tight-knit family, it's just great to be, we're a community, a family, a community, and we are here to serve our patients. And when everybody has that one purpose, it's a great feeling.
Well, Emily, I appreciate you stopping and talking to us, and keep fighting for the patients.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
We'll be back after this.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
The industry-first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans, in. Sweaters, out. Towels, in. Comforters, out. You decide. Whirlpool.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Back here at Farmington High School, as we are currently at the halftime break, we'll go over some stats here from that first half of play. We'll start with the Macomb Bombers. Again, they have the 14-12 lead over Farmington. Holthaus on the day, 4 for 8 through the air. He's got 96 yards, including that big 70-yard completion to Kylan McMillan that went for a touchdown. That's through the air. On the ground, Holthaus 7 carries for 20 yards. He's been sacked a couple times here tonight. Malachi Conley has 3 carries for 5 yards. Absar Logan has 1 carry for 3 yards. Drew Watson has caught 2 passes for 13 yards. Kylan McMillan had, of course, caught that big 70-yard touchdown and then a 13-yard gain after that. He's got 83 yards receiving and 7 yards rushing on the day. Jack Beal has 1 reception for 4 yards, and Drake May has 2 carries for 4 yards as well. On the Farmington Farmers side, quarterback Lane Wheelwright is 9 for 13 through the air. He's up to 76 yards on the game, but he's been getting it done with the legs. He's got 4 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Logan Utt, number 34, he has, 10 carries on the day for 27 yards, as well as a reception for 4 yards. Number 10, Carter Lambin, has 2 catches for 23 yards. Jarrett Fauser has 1 catch for 17 yards. And Jack Gronwald has 3 catches for 35 yards. And that includes 1 pass intention deep downfield where he thought he kept the feet inbound, would have went for a huge Farmington play downfield, just couldn't keep both feet in. Tony, you got to like the way that the Bombers started this contest. Of course, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead, but the Farmers able to take that punch, came right back, able to score 2 touchdowns. Of course, I've fell incomplete on their extra point opportunities, but what does Macomb got to do here in the second half to get that momentum back that they experienced there in that first quarter and really slow down these Farmington Farmers?
Well, before we get into what they got to do, as far as how the game progressed, as you mentioned, it couldn't have gone any better for the Bombers. 2-play drive, they connect on the 70-yard touchdown to Kylan McMillan, and then not a true onside, but the little pop over the front line that they get back, get the ball right back. They're able to drive down. That's more of a 6-minute drive, more traditional drive. Go for it on 4th and goal from about the 4, and they get the little out route to Jack Beal for the touchdown. Hayden Katz is good on both of those. So it's a 14-0 lead. We know that the Farmers are going to score points. They did. They got the ball. They put the ball in the end zone a couple of times. Helped out on a pass interference call at one point. And what you see right there is 2 good football teams. But what we, before the game, we talked about how you put so much emphasis on the Farmer offense that you forget about the defense, and that defense is really good. The closing speed of the linebackers is impressive, and a lot of small schools, their cornerbacks, their safeties, those are guys that are coverage guys, that they're not the strongest tacklers in the world. This safety's making some phenomenal tackles and plays that we've seen throughout the season go for 7, 10, 15 yards are going for 4 because he's got closing speed and he's sure tackling. So what Macomb needs to do is those quick routes, those now routes that the Farmers are setting up, they're throwing them into trips. So there's 2 blockers set up, and then they've got a leak pull, so they get an extra lineman out there. And you can see Bombers navigating and trying to wind through, and they're just missing. But we can't fly by the ball carrier. When we get there, we got to break down, and we've got to stop the ball carrier's feet. What's happening is the Farmers receivers are catching the ball in space, and they're able to get a run and go and get up to speed. We've got to stop the ball carrier's feet, and that way it allows our pursuit to join in. As far as the run game, we've got to stretch that out. We've got to spill it to the sideline and allow our guys to come up and help us. We can't allow them to get straight downhill. On offense, we've got to block. We've got to, and that was big with Breeze. Our offensive line came up huge as the game went on. We need to see that again this week. We need to give time to Braden Holdhouse. We need to make sure that those exchanges are crisp. But we need to keep going. We need to make a couple of completions, get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and let them make plays. Hit those little quick routes to Drew Watson, because they are bracketing Drew, but they're bracketing over the top, and occasionally they're not. They're giving him that huge bubble. So hit those little quick routes. See if he can make a play, and even if even if the safety makes his tackle, that's going to act like a run play. You're going to pick up 3, 4, 5, 7 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing you mentioned there, just the adjustments made at the halftime point of the Breeze game last week, and really how well both the offensive line and defensive line for the Bombers played coming out of that halftime. It's something that they're going to need to see here tonight. Holdhouse has been under a lot of pressure when he's dropped back to pass. We've seen Carter Olm, I believe, on the let me make sure I get that menu. Griffin Olm, excuse me, has been able to bring down Holdhouse a couple times in the backfield, and even when Holdhouse hasn't dropped back to pass, even on those run plays as well, Farmington has been able to come up with a couple TFLs there. So again, changes ensue, I would assume, coming out of the halftime break, and great adjustments made last week. It's going to take him here this week if Macomb wants to maintain this 2-point lead.
The other thing that has to happen is we've got to start clearing some holes, and we've got to get that inside running game going. It can't just be Braden Holdhouse carrying the football. We need to be able to free up some lanes for our running backs, and I can hear a little bit of distortion. I apologize. We're out in the bleachers here, and the wind is really picked up in Farmington, so I'll probably use my my program here as a little bit of a wind protector, see if I can, but the problem is it's swirling a little bit, so difficult to do, but we'll see what we can do to try and keep this auditory experience positive for you guys out there.
Yeah, it's really a great night for football. Again, the wind's picking up a little bit, but it's...
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But by the way, right here next to us, we've got a bus driver from Farmington, Jeff, that's just a phenomenal guy. Sat here and chatted with me a lot about Farmington football and the hopes they have for their season this year. And one of the things that he sees that's been frustrating is, as we mentioned at the top of this show, Farmington's ranked number 2 in 2A. He said, well, yeah, that happens every year. And then we end up in 3A because what happens is smaller schools become playoff eligible and it pushes schools up. That happened, I believe, 3 years ago when Macomb had the 9-0 team. There, as late as week 8, if not week 9, Macomb was ranked high in 3A. And I remember talking to Tanner Horrell saying, don't pay attention to that, we will be 4A.
And they were.
Yeah, and they were.
Year.
Yes, that is correct.
So as we mentioned, Farmington will take the opening kickoff here to start half number 2. Again, we got a big crowd out there listening and watching us here tonight. Again, we apologize for the camera angle. We're working with what we got here. It's a little different than usual setup here in Farmington. And again, we're kind of out here in the thickets, Tony, surrounded by the Farmington fans out here making themselves known. I'm sure you've been able to hear them throughout the night.
The good thing is we have got a phenomenal cameraman that's doing a great job of following the action and trying to minimize that little issue. But right here, the wind is at the Bombers' back. We've had some, obviously you had the little floater over the front line that the Bombers recovered. We've had some of those low-line drive kicks. I wonder if Hayden Katz is gonna get his leg into one and see how far he can put that ball.
So we still got about 50 seconds on the clock here. It looks like they're gonna go ahead and get things started. It looks like both teams are ready. Again, remember, make sure to get into the live chat. Let us know where you're listening to us from, who you're rooting for. And again, it's always nice to see the names pop up on there, just to see who's actually out there. Got little Beastie Boys rocking the stadium right now. So here we go now. Finally, ball has been placed down. Cats will go back to kick this one away. It'll be Owen Morse and Jarrett Fauser back to receive the kick for Farmington. And again, this might be a situation we try to get Cats to get a little air under this one, send it deep downfield. We'll see what they do.
Nope.
And they will do the exact opposite. Short onside kick will be close to the out-of-bounds line. It will roll out there.
Macomb kick goes out of bounds. There's a penalty flag.
And the theory on those kicks, I've had a lot of conversations in, around water coolers in Macomb with people wanting to know why we don't go ahead and air those kicks out. And the theory is typically a high school kicker, especially at the level where we're playing, is probably going to put, if you get that to the 20, inside the 20, that's a pretty decent kick. You set up a return, you get it out to about the 30. If we go past that 40-yard line and get that ball goes out of bounds beyond that, then they start at the 35 and they haven't really gained that much. Now this one's going to start closer than that because of where it went out of bounds.
So the first drive of the second half for Farmington. Going to be rear right back there at quarterback. The first play will be a handoff to Utt. So he's going to be brought down to be a gain for Logan Utt, about a yard. Nice job there by the defensive line of Macomb.
Bombers defensive line does a nice job of holding its ground. They don't allow that Farmington, that big Farmington line to reestablish the line of scrimmage, a couple of yards downfield. That they create that stalemate, and dives forward to get just a couple of yards. I think my mic's going out. I might have to sit down. Folks, I might have to sit down.
Yeah, trying to work through the audio issues here a little bit. Again, with the wind blowing, trying to minimize that the best we can.
Ball on the carry for the Farmers.
That wind is going to be tough tonight, Johnny, when I'm catfishing out on the lake.
Got the approval from the
The boss said, boss gave the go-ahead.
There you go. Third and fourth play, or 3rd and 4 to go for Farmington. Right, looking to pass here under a little bit of pressure. He's got a man towards the near sideline. Hard to tell if he caught that. It looks like he did.
No,
maybe
the
came up
official,
incomplete.
The official waved his arms, gave incomplete.
Pass was intended for Gronwald. Again, where we're sitting, it's kind of hard to see. We got a bunch of Farmington players blocking the view there. 4th and 4 play here for Macomb and Farmington.
So I'm hearing a ton of wind in my headphones, but the boss says that it sounds fine, but I see dots. So she says every now and then she can hear wind. So far we're doing okay. Big play downfield. Good coverage by Oh!
We got a flag down on the play. Gronwald tried to come back to that one. A little bit slow to get up there is Gronwald. Beal on the carry. Flags are out. Beal saying, what did I do?
That is an interesting call. That is interesting. That is a defender running downfield with a receiver. You are allowed to have your hand out. He does not turn the receiver. That's a very tough call. Now, the unfortunate part about that is if he doesn't stay with the receiver and turns around, he intercepts the football as it was underthrown.
So after the pass interference there, that'll push the ball into Macomb territory. Farmers first down.
Yeah, that was questionable.
Ball slotted on the Macomb 35.
It's a handout up the middle.
Logan Utt on the carry.
Utt on the carry will go for, again, about 2 yards there. Maybe 3 on the carry for Utt.
May in on the stop for the Bombers. 2nd down.
I'm sure you hear there Drake May in on the stop for Macomb. Second and 7, 2 minutes have come off the game clock here in the 3rd quarter. Farmington trailing by 2. We were right. A lot of time there in the backfield. He's going to throw on the run deep downfield. Pass is broken up there. McMillan in on the coverage.
That receiver did a nice job of becoming a defensive back, as that ball, again, was underthrown. It was thrown right to the defensive back. Wide receiver has to come around the receiver. And actually, there's more contact on that one than there was here. But he does a phenomenal job of coming around and breaking up that interception.
Pass was intended for Fauser. Again, broken up deep downfield by McMillan. And again, that was a heck of a throw by Wheelwright, excuse me. Flushed out of the pocket, throws that one on the run, and is able to put it right on the goal line. Clock stops at the incompletion, 9 minutes, 45 seconds. Grunwald in motion. They will give it off to him.
He gives the jet. Oh, he's tripped up. Drew Watson comes up from his safety position, able to trip him up right at about the line of scrimmage. He maybe gained a half a yard, and it's going to make it it may stay 4th and 7. It wasn't much there. 4th and 6.
So this would be a huge stop for the Bombers defense if they were to come away with it. Farmington has been pretty good on 4th downs in this game to this point.
Twice on penalties.
Any way you can get them, right?
Hey, as long as you move the chains, then it was a successful play.
Riyad's going to look to pass. He's going to look deep downfield once again. This ball is going to be incomplete. Don't see any flags down, so that's going to be a turnover on downs. Pass was intended for Carter Lambin.
That is an excellent stop. Bombers were able to force the incompletion twice on 4th downs. Once apparently had some hands on the receiver, so they were able to continue the drive, and then they stopped them on the next 4th down. So we had talked earlier about that. You've got that. You don't want that two-possession turnaround at halftime. The Bombers held the football at halftime, and they're able to get the stop here, and now it's Bomber ball.
Bombers take over on their own 31. First play of the second half for Macomb. It's going to be a sweep out to Watson. Watson picks up a far side block there. Pretty nice run there from Drew Watson. And we know how good he is after he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, you run that jet motion, and you've had the quarterback draw off of it. You can have counters off of it. Now you go ahead and give it to your playmaker and let him make a play. He picks up 7 yards.
8 minutes, 30 seconds in the third quarter. There's going to be a handoff for Conley.
Close to the line again, but again, that was 100% a flop.
On the stop for the Farmers. It'll be 3rd down.
You hear the flop call from the crowd out here. He's 100% correct.
Yeah, that was Alex Brown out there. It looked like he got maybe poked in the chest or something. Took a big fall. 3rd down and 1 yard to go here for the Bombers. Trying to extend this drive out. It's going to be a sneak for the whole house up the middle. He's going to have it in more. Big push there by the Bombers offensive line, but we got a flag down on the play.
Now that could be a hold. That could also be a face mask. We'll have to see what the call is.
It'll be a face mask.
Face mask penalty against the Farmers.
So the sneak initially, the whole house went for about 5 yards.
Yeah, that was a Jack Duncan special right there. We've said that before, where they get in behind him and they push him forward, and that 1 yard turns into about 5 or 6. That's legal as of a couple years ago. Yeah. Yeah, you can. That was a couple years ago they changed it.
Seven minutes, 45 seconds after the 15-yard penalty on the face mask. That was Conley on the carry once again. Went for about a yard there. Haven't been able to break through a big run play, have the Bombers here tonight.
Not between the tackles, but like we've talked about, you stick with it. You keep going to it. You keep going to it. You had Drew Watson on the jet, and then you've had a couple of run plays here and there with Holthouse. Looks like a delay of game.
Penalty flag against Macomb. False start penalty.
Oh, false start.
Actually, false start there.
Still second down.
So that'll march the Bombers back 5 yards, working from behind the chains now, about 2nd and 13 after the penalty. Ball up on the Bombers 43, 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Anybody expect a hard count here?
Nope, a little bit of trouble there. Holthouse slips in the backfield. Again, just kind of had to come off the ground there to take in that high snap, lost his footing.
Holthouse is tripped up in the backfield. Third down.
So now you're faced with 3rd and 16.
3rd and 16, but you're in plus territory. So again, you don't have to push this ball down the field. You can run a quick right now, but you've got press coverage up here on Drew Watson. But something, you can go with a medium route. Just get some of your yards back. Love Holthouse in space. Oh.
Can't make the connection to McMillan.
Looked like he expect McMillan to release towards the sideline.
Holthouse pass falls incomplete. It is 4th down.
So now Macomb will be faced with a 4th down.
Now this is a bit more of a decision. Even though you're in plus territory, you've got 4th and 16. You know, there's not a lot of 4th and 16 plays in the playbook. Your choice is go ahead and punt the ball, put it down there and flip the field. Looks like Coach Wall's going to call a timeout.
Delay of game penalty against the Bombers.
Actually, just going to take the delay
Oh,
game
he took the penalty.
And then punt it away, I would assume. We got Brian Donovan in the chat saying in conference play, this is a heavyweight game. Absolutely 2 powerhouses in the West Central Illinois area doing battle here tonight. It's really been a defensive game for the most part, I would say. Well, defense really tightening in and showing out here. Punt downfield will take a Farmers bounce, but be fielded right around the 25, maybe around the 23.
Yeah, he didn't get into that punt the way that he wanted to, but also you can look at the flag and see that it's blowing downfield. However, the wind isn't truly at your back. It's going across the field, and also this wind is swirling a bit. So I don't think that did us any favors, and then the punt checked up. So we didn't get the full extent of the punt that you would want, but they start at their own 25 instead of, you know, potentially around their 45.
Six minutes and 10 seconds. Farmington will take over.
It's another quick.
Rurout's going to have it out to Lambin. Lambin, a lot of room to work here. Bombers are going to force him out of bounds there. Nice passing completion there to Lambin.
On the reception.
And again, Drew Watson is so close
That is enough for a
to blowing up those quick routes, but just can't quite make that connection, and then they're able to block up everybody else and turn that little route at the line of scrimmage into 14-yard gain.
First completion of the second half for Wheelwright. Nice chunk play there to Lambin. 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Wheelwright's going to keep this one. And he's going to keep
run.
Yeah, keep the feet churning there. Nice run there by Lane Wheelwright.
Lane Wheelwright on the carry.
That's going to go for about 5 yards there.
Oh, yeah, and that was set up for defensive success. Hector Mamie blew up the puller, not to get through him, but in order to shrink down that lane. And Wheelwright was met at about the line of scrimmage or just beyond it, and he just kept those legs going, and instead of being stopped for no gain, he picks up 5.
Wheelwright once again will go on the keeper. Takes a little bump there at the line of scrimmage, looking for room on the near sideline. He's brought down there. Took a few Bombers to do so. It'll go for about 2 yards there, maybe 3 for Wheelwright. And that'll set up a Farmers 3rd and 2.
It is 3rd down.
3rd and a long one here.
That is a really long one. 4 minutes, 50 seconds.
Middle.
We're gonna get to Utt there.
Logan Utt on the carry.
I think he's gonna be brought up just short. And we'll see where they spot this one. It's gonna be very close. Looks like they're gonna come out for a measurement. It looks like this stick is right on
Timeout for a measurement.
right on the yard line there. The ball looks to be just a bit short.
I'd like to thank our chain gang members, Chad
That's
Anderson,
the
Rob
50-yard
Anderson,
line.
Craig
It
Lansford,
is.
Jeff Skaggs, Trevor Rankin, and Eric Morse.
Chain gang getting a quick shout out there over the PA system. 4 minutes and 23 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see where the chain stretch this out to. Give her about a bit of an awkward angle.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had the chain at the line. It looked like that.
It'll be a 1st down.
That's enough for a Farmer 1st down.
I think that chain came up a little bit short of the line, it looked like. Either way.
It did.
Either way, again, at the angle we're at, it's hard to tell where it actually was on that far sideline. It'll be a Farmer's 1st down here. They got the ball basically right at the midfield point.
Let's go!
Young man that's impressed me is the left tackle for the Farmers. He's their smallest lineman, and he's doing a phenomenal job of setting blocks, especially in pass pro. He has picked up blitzes. Running back just did a phenomenal
Right
job.
downfield to Gronwald. Pass is complete, and there is nobody to stop Gronwald from going to the end zone. It'll be a touchdown for Farmington. Beal was back there, one-on-one coverage with Gronwald. Gronwald got to step on him, and we've seen that a couple times here tonight. Gronwald able to beat Beal. Did so there. Wheelwright put it on a platter, and Gronwald is able to take it into the end zone. And this
That's
time,
a phenomenal effort by Wheelwright. Wheelwright was stopped 2 yards short of the line to gain and is able to twist his body and reach his arms out. He just made a great football play. Just an impressive young quarterback.
so the touchdown comes just under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Macomb will find themselves down for the first time in this contest. 20-14 is the score. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We'll be back right after this.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
So after the big 50-yard touchdown pass from Wheelwright to Gronwald, the Farmers take their first lead in the game, and we were just talking off air. I believe this is the first time that Macomb has been down in the second half of the game this season. We talked in the pregame just how much adversity this Macomb team has faced and has been able to bounce back. Going to have to do so here. Great open field tackle there by number 9. That's Gage Smith on the Farmers' side.
Return brought down by number 9, Gage Smith.
So Macomb will take over. Right around
Coaches
the 31.
love a guy on special teams to come up and make a great play like that. Get himself a little juice.
So Macomb will take over on their 32, it looks like. Just about. They're basically set up right in front of where we're sitting right now. House, quick screen pass. I believe that's Watson on the catch. It is. Almost tripped up there. Watson still on his feet. Keeps the feet moving. That's a tough 5 yards for Watson.
Yeah, ball's behind him a little bit instead of leading him out into his run, but he's able to adjust to the football. Picks up about 5.
Watson's third reception of the game. Holthouse has broke the 100-yard marker in the passing department. He's up to 101 unofficially with that completion. Another high snap there. Holthouse is able to wheel it in, but he's going to be hit behind the chains. Keeps the feet moving. Nice run there by Holthouse. He was hit right at the line. He's going to go for maybe about a yard, yard and a half, maybe 2.
Oh, he was, yeah, that was a high snap. He pulls it down, and he was met with pressure immediately. And again, is able to make a little something out of nothing, but you got a 3rd and 4 here.
Holthouse with Petty in the backfield, direct snap. Holthouse will run. He'll have the first down and more room to run. Holthouse on the far sideline. He's still on his feet. Huge run there by Braden Holthouse.
On the carry.
That'll get the Bombers offense moving a little bit.
Yeah, he needed 4. He picked up what? Let's see. He picked up 12, 22, 27, 28. And again, that's just a tough run. That's like last week. Remember those moments where it was like, you know what? This is just Braden Holthouse putting it on his shoulders. And that's what we saw right there is that was a contested run all the way from the beginning. And he's able to fight through tackles and then find space. And now we got Tanner Horrell's favorite play. He calls the freeze, and now it's 1st and 5.
2 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter.
That time check was for you, Norm.
But trying to get him in there whenever I can. Holthouse looking to pass. Under a little bit of pressure, he's flushed out. This is going to be complete to Beal.
But again, that is a phenomenal play by the cornerback.
Beal on the reception, brought down by Owen.
They'll go for about 4 yards there. It's going to set up Macomb on 2nd and about 1 to go. Second and 1 play from the Farmers 25.
As you'd said earlier, that's a long one.
Set up on the near hash. Holthouse this time under center. They're going to hand it off to Petty, and he's tripped up in the backfield. Was he tripped up there by?
He might have been tripped up by his own lineman.
I think he was. That was.
Yeah, because that was not an ISO. That was a true lead, old school lead with Noah App-Logan leading to the point of attack. And Jerron Petty was trying to get to him to get behind Noah App-Logan and was tripped up in the backfield by the feet of a lineman.
Holthouse back under center again, just 1 yard to go. He's going to hand it off to App-Logan this time, and he's going to fall forward.
He's going to move the chains.
He sure will. It'll be a Sports Corner first down for Noah App-Logan. 30 seconds left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. As we are gearing up for an interesting finish to this contest. Again, I believe this is the first time Macomb has found themselves down in a second half of a football game this year. Of course, went down 14-0 early last week against Breeze Mater Day. Was able to come back and win this one. It's going to take an effort here tonight at Farmington High. Holthouse play action pass. Looking for a man downfield, trying to come back to it.
Run. Get rid of the
able
football.
to break the tackle. Can't find a way to get rid of it. Eventually throws it. I believe they're going to give him an
incomplete pass.
Incompletion there.
He kind of shoveled that out to the feet of, I can't see who the receiver was, but there was a receiver in the area.
Definitely kind of shoveled it for sure.
Now that was going to be a tough play because he was going to have to completely turn his hips and shoulders and open up. which he started to do to try and find a receiver, but that limits his mobility. Whereas if it just became a ball carrier, he may have been able to have the edge to go ahead and grab a few.
This is going to be a handoff here. A lot of room to work this time. This is Drake May on the carry. Horn will sound. Great run there by Drake May.
That was a very patient run because, again, between the tackles, these Farmington Farmers are not really giving anything up. They're doing a great job of keeping their gaps, not trying to do too much, allowing the linebackers to run free. Drake May goes to the point of attack, sees the linebacker crash and bounces outside and picks up a chunk.
So that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Bombers down by 6, 20-14 is the score. We'll actually keep it here while we get things flipped around, get through some live reads. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there's limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit them at wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Pond Plus is proud to have served the Macomb and surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pond Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They'll also provide on-site jewelry repairs and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville.
So we got first and goal now at the 10-yard line. So for first and goal situations, you've maxed it out. You are exactly at the 10-yard line. You got 10 yards to get into the end zone and tie the game up with the opportunity to take the lead. You got 4 cracks at it.
They'll start off with the whole house keeper. He's going to have...
It's like about 5.
Yeah, about 5 there for Braden Holthouse. He's up to 60 yards unofficially on the ground. And he had that long rush play during this drive to push Macomb into Farmers territory. After a 5-yard run, it'll be 5 to go. 2nd and 5. Holthouse will hand it off to May. He's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. This is going to be a loss of yards on the play. Number 24 as well as number 51 in on the stop. Noah Fleming. And number 51, Aiden Shepard. The Farmers, a couple of the Farmers there on the stop on May. May loses about a yard.
Yeah, that interior of the Farmers defense is just so impressive.
That line has played great all night for Farmington. Really giving Macomb a lot of issues.
Their shade in the middle is doing a great job of 2-gapping. He's filling both A-gaps.
10 minutes, 45 seconds, and you can see the scoreboard there on the screen on this end of the field. Holthouse fakes the handoff, fakes the pass. Goes to the far sideline. We got a flag down on the play. Holthouses go into the end zone.
Holthouse on the carry, but there is a penalty flag.
It's going to be a hold, so that's going to bring back that touchdown run from Holthouse.
Against the Bombers.
Yeah, you didn't hear us get excited because you saw that flag come out really early.
Didn't see which Bomber it was in on the hold. It looked like the ref pointed at May there for a second, maybe. It's hard to tell, so the hold will push the Bombers back past the 15. They're going to have 16 yards to go now.
2 cracks at it.
Third and 16. Watson comes in motion. Holthouse under pressure. He's got a man over the field. That pass is caught and a touchdown.
Touchdown. It's caught right just short of the goal line, and he falls back into the goal line. Is that Nolan Hogue?
That's Nolan Hogue, ladies and gentlemen.
That may be his first reception of the season, and none bigger, as that ties the game with the Farmington Farmers. Nolan Hogue just finds space in the middle of the field, and that's a contested catch. They're coming up right on him. He's able to hold on to the football and fall into the end zone.
Let's go, get up, Malin!
And they are Hayden Katz away from taking the lead back.
The kick's going to be blocked, so it's going to be tied. Didn't get any air under that kick, but
no, I don't know if that was blocked or if it was hit off of the knee of a defender. That was a low kick.
But when we go back to that reception by Nolan Hogue, man, what a catch there. Again, he caught it about a yard short of the end zone, was able to just kind of fall backwards, but that wasn't bad coverage. Farmington played great coverage there.
No, that was good coverage. He was right on top of the receiver.
Yeah, Hogue just able to make it a better catch there. So 20-20, I should say. I'm looking at the scoreboard here. It's not updating. There it goes. Maybe it'll go. There we go. Now it's 20. Now it's going to go back to 14, I bet. This scoreboard app is great when it works. 20-20, there we go. Again, 5-0 versus 5-0 here tonight.
I got to tell you, this has got to be a lot of fun for the Farmington Farmer fans, because this is really the first football game that they've had that's a contested football game. Yeah.
And again, looking forward on both of these teams' schedule, the winner of this one very well could go into the postseason undefeated on the year. Again, just two great football programs here in battle here tonight, and really lived up to the hype so far. I mean, we're virtually 0-0 now. It's the fourth quarter. We got 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go. This kick downfield is going to be fielded right around the 25. Tripped up there, pushed it up to about the 30. I believe that's number 24 it is. Noah Fleming.
Noah Fleming on the return for the Farmers.
It's interesting you say that you don't want to fall into a trap game, because there's a couple of good football programs coming up for the Bombers in both Elmwood, Brimfield, and the Valley team. But they've played Farmington. So you see lopsided scores, but Farmington's done that to everybody before tonight.
10 minutes, 20 seconds. Farmington will take over.
Bureau Valley.
30. This is going to be a direct snap for Wheelwright. He's able to spin out of a tackle there before being brought down. It'll go for about 6 yards on the carry for Wheelwright.
The carry for the Farmers.
Obviously a huge possession right here for both teams. Farmington wanting to chew up a bunch of clock and get down into the end zone, and the Bombers obviously don't want to be put in a situation where you have one opportunity, one drive left to get down the field and score.
Wheelwright on the direct snap keeper once again. He's going to have the first down, dives forward for a few more. That run play is going to go for
on the carry.
Basically about 10 yards there for Wheelwright.
First down.
Maybe closer to about 11 there.
Although after everything I just said, when you're in a tie game in the fourth quarter, every possession becomes the most important possession in the game.
Nine minutes and 20 seconds. Wheelwright will pass it this time, or at least look to pass. Under a little bit of pressure, able to get through one tackle. Looks to scramble before just throwing it out of bounds.
Yep, smart play. And again, he is a great quarterback. He's very smart. He doesn't lose his composure under pressure. He knows he's outside of the tackle box. He's able to just flip that over. There's no receiver anywhere near, but he's outside of the tackle box, so it's perfectly legal. He's able to evade that initial pressure from Kyler Cheatham coming in off the edge, just sidesteps that, and is able to come out to his right before the additional pressure gets to him.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Wheelwright will keep it once again. Another hard run there. The pile falls forward.
Wheelwright
will go for about 6 yards, 7 yards there.
Yeah, you see a lot of defenders that are getting a hand on the quarterback, but that's been proven that is not going to bring this quarterback down.
No, absolutely, a hard runner.
Or the fullback or the receivers, to be honest. These Farmington Farmers run hard. You have got to rally to the football.
8 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in this contest. Again, both teams with all their timeouts here. Wheelwright will look to pass to Gronwald. Great defensive play there. I believe that's two. That is Kylan McMillan just stuck his hand in there, able to break it up to Gronwald, kind of punched it out.
But I got to tell you one more time, Gronwald has pressure in his face and pressure from the edge. He's going to take a shot. He knows it. And that football was delivered perfect. It was on time. It was to the receiver's hands. It took a great play by Kylan McMillan to disrupt that completion. So impressive.
4th and 4 play, and the Bombers will jump off sides there.
We got a little taste of their own medicine right there. So that is the 3rd 4th down that has been picked up by Farmington on a penalty.
That'll be enough for a Farmer first down.
And that's a little taste of the Bombers' own medicine right there.
Let's go, Purple!
Absolutely. Farmers on the Bombers 42, 8 minutes and 10 seconds. After that first down on the penalty, Wheelwright will keep it once again. Again, Bombers had hands on him in the back row. That was Kyler Norton, I believe. Couldn't bring Wheelwright down. He's going to go for 5 more yards.
Hit the hands on the hips, but he had his momentum falling away. And again, we know that those types of plays will not bring this ball carrier down.
Wheelwright now unofficially up to 71 yards on the ground. He's up to 141 unofficially passing.
Clock's clicking down towards 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. So this drive's already peeled off about 3 minutes.
Wheelwright will look to pass this time, maybe with a little bit
He
of
is
pressure.
wide
He's
open.
got Gronwald wide open.
He dropped the ball.
Gronwald couldn't bring it in. Again, there wasn't a Bomber within 20 feet of Gronwald downfield. McMillan would have been the only one back there with a chance.
That's
not Gronwald. That's number 5.
That was busted coverage right there. You had 2 guys peel off of the receiver back towards the field. Quarterback threw against himself and had the receiver wide open. It was just a little bit beyond the receiver, but to his hands, and the ball falls harmlessly to the ground.
Bullet dodge there by Macomb. 3rd down and 5. They're going to go back to Wheelwright on the ground. A lot of room to work with there on the far sideline. He's going to take another hit, and I believe he's going to have the first down once again. Wheelwright with the legs is just getting it done here on this drive. And again, when you're in a situation like this, tie game, we got 7 minutes to go. You put it in the hands of your quarterback and let him go to work. It's kind of what the Bombers did last week with Holt House.
But I got to tell you, that wasn't Wheelwright. That was a phenomenal seal block on the outside, because what the Bombers have had success with is spilling these plays out towards the sideline. And in this particular case, there was no need, as there was a phenomenal crackback seal that sprung Wheelwright to go ahead and catch the edge and pick up about 5.
They'll bring it on for another measurement. It will be Farmer's first down.
That's enough for a Farmer first down.
Clock will start to run again. Just under 7 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Wheelwright will have it on the ground once again. We got a flag down here on the near side. Wheelwright still got the legs moving. There's a fumble. Macomb's on top of it. We got a flag down.
It's Bomber ball for the moment, pending the penalty.
And that flag was on the near sideline. It didn't go very far out onto the field.
On the field recovered by the Bombers.
It is Bombers football as of right now.
That's Bomber football. So they had a false start on the offense, which typically would stop the play.
Right.
false start against the Farmers.
So the Bombers catch 2 breaks right there because the false start should have been a whistle to stop the play. The play should not have been allowed to happen. The play is allowed to happen. The ball goes to the ground and the Bombers get the football back. So that is 2 benefits in 1 play.
Wow, that is absolutely tough scenes for if you're a Farmers fan. That's interesting there. Bombers will start off this drive with a handoff. Nice juke move there.
There's that safety.
And again, yeah, the safety made a nice tackle. That was Watson, the ball carrier.
Drew Watson on the carry, brought down by number 1, Jared Bowser.
As close to the first down is Watson. Maybe came up about a yard short there. Fauser in on the stop.
2nd down.
Let's go, Green!
So again, after that fumble recovery, Bombers now 6 minutes and 10 seconds to work. That's a long drive by Farmington. Just came up a bit short after the turnover. A little bit of issues there.
And that ball's on the ground.
Still on the ground. Holthouse is able to fall on it.
Covered up by the Bombers, but they're going to lose about 7.
Recovered by Macomb.
Miscommunication there in the backfield. It looked like 2 ball carriers came to get that one from Holthouse.
8. Oof. So you were right there at the doorstop of picking up another first down, and now you got a 3rd and long. And this is not 4-down territory.
Hard count by Holthouse. Nice job by the Farmers line, able to stick with it. Another high snap. Holthouse reels it in, looking to pass under pressure once again. Far sideline, they got hands on Holthouse, able to spin out of that tackle. Makes another juke move, just trying to make something happen here, but a swarm of Farmers are going to bring him down right around the line of scrimmage. We got a late flag call here, or a late flag on the field. Be interesting what this is.
On the play.
Might be a personal foul of some sort. It's going to be charged against Farmington.
That's charged against Farmington, so that's going to be a first down.
And that flag came out very late there.
Well, that was a lot. I mean, you don't know what they called, whether it's
a late hit or something.
Yeah, something of that nature. And this is such a reversal from the first half. The first half, the Bombers were hit with a couple of very untimely penalties, and then there's been a couple of penalties going the Farmers' way that have really been at poor times for them.
Bombers on their own 41, just over 5 minutes to play. Holthouse fakes the handoff, looking downfield once again, trying to take the top off the defense, can't make the connection
and
there.
That's double coverage. Dangerous throw. But almost had to make it. He did the right thing. He threw it where only his guy could make a play on it. But Farmers had that double covered.
That was McMillan once again downfield. Again, almost had fingertips on that football. It was a pretty good throw. And again, want to make sure you overthrow that. Don't underthrow it, because that would have been going the other way. Holthouse under center. It's going to be a handoff. I believe this is going to be May, the ball carrier.
Pick up about 3, 4.
I think of about 4 there. Again, Drake May. So now you're 3rd and 6.
But now you're in plus territory. Nope, not quite. But you're close. You're close to midfield. This will be a decision if you can't, get close to that line to gain here.
Another hard count by Holthouse. Clock continues to run under 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Holthouse looks for a quick pass, and that's right at the sticks. Did the ball hit the ground?
Yeah, it hit the ground. Skip to him.
Holthouse's pass intended for McMillan falls incomplete.
Drew Watson did a great job of trying to sell that to the official, but the official wasn't buying what he was selling. He'd already seen the ball skip off the turf up into Kylan's hands.
So again, now you're faced with a decision. You have the ball on your own 46. You got 4th and 5. Looks like Macomb will trot the punt team out there. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. High snap there on the punt. They are able to get away.
Into the wind.
That is a tough punt there. Goes for about 1 yard. And
yeah, so that punt goes straight up, which into this wind, which we've talked about all night, has been a stiff wind. That didn't go anywhere, but essentially you just went for it and didn't get it.
First and 10.
Yeah, and again, the high snap there might have threw the timing off on the punt.
That would have been
tough.
If you've got a rugby punter, that would have been a time for a rugby punt. And the problem here is that now you've got 4 minutes to go in this football game. So if Farmington takes all that time off the clock, that's where, obviously Farmington wants to pick up a 4th down on that previous play, on the previous drive. But the fact that they didn't, but were able to get this stop, actually benefits them, because they would have an opportunity to take the lead with almost no time left on the clock.
3 minutes and 45 seconds the clock reads. And we are tied 20-20 here at Farmington High School. They're going to be content to chew as much time as they can. Blue right, quick pass to the outside.
This time they bottle it up.
Great defense there by Macomb. Pass play goes for about 1 yard. I believe that was Gronwald on the reception.
I was a little nervous about that one because they were dialing up pressure inside. And with such a quick route, Wheelwright's able to get that ball out of his hands on time to the receiver. But Macomb was able to use inside-out pressure to cut off that turn back into the middle of the field, give time for help to come, and they're able to bottle that one up. Oh, that's...
Wheelwright's going to look downfield this time. Ball is overthrown. So now it's 4th down, and
we had Nolan Hogue blitzing in off the edge and had an arm around him as he was coming around, but you could call it hold on every play in high school football if you wanted to, let alone college or the NFL, actually.
So a somewhat similar situation now for Farmington. You have an in plus territory, but it's not by much on this 4th down play. It looks
4th and 8.
Looks like they're going to punt it.
Watch the ball. Watch the up back.
Long punt there. That's going to sail into the end zone.
Yeah, that'll be a touchback.
So Farmington will punt it away. Macomb will take over 2 minutes and 45 seconds. The Bombers will have it. They're going to have to go 80 yards down the field.
Macomb will take over 1st and 10 from the 20.
That's the difference between punting into the wind and punting with the wind at your back, right?
Although I'm not sure that punt was aided by the wind too much.
No,
it was a low line drive and it just shot off of his foot.
2 minutes, 45 seconds for Macomb. Fresh set of downs after the punt. It'll be a keeper for Holthouse. Positive yards there again. All 3 timeouts for Macomb. Might have gained about 3 there for Braden.
2nd down.
Up to 72 yards now and officially on the ground.
We've talked about this before the half. We haven't really talked about it at the end of a game because we haven't been in this situation with a tie, but you're in an interesting situation where in negative territory you want to keep the clock running. You don't want to give the ball back. However, at the same time, you want to push the ball down the field and give yourself an opportunity to win the football game.
This pass is going to be complete to the outside for Kyler Norton. Big hit there to send Norton out of bounds. Right at the 30-yard line.
Norton on the reception. Owen Morse in on the stop.
And again, that big hit is set up by the cornerback who doesn't lunge, he doesn't leave his feet, he stays right in front of Kyler Norton, forces him to stop his feet, and allows the safety to come over and just lower the boom.
3rd down is short here to go. Looks like they've
gone ahead and given the 1st down.
Yeah, sports corner 1st down. That ball is right on the line. And of course, starting on the 20-yard after the punt, that's going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, 1st down.
2 minutes to play here now in the 4th quarter. Bombers up on their own 30.
Tight bunch to the field.
Full house on the keeper.
Yeah, he's caught right at about the line of scrimmage.
Holthouse brought down by the defensive line for Farmington.
And now Farmington calls a timeout, anticipating getting the ball back.
Timeout, Farmington.
And they have all three, so you can't run the ball and run the clock down. You're going to need a first down.
Getting another great job there by the Farmington defensive line. We've talked about that throughout a majority of this contest, but able to bring down Holthouse right at the line of scrimmage. We got Coach Driscoll in the chat saying, let's go Bombers. Huge drive here. Absolutely. It doesn't get bigger. Again, 5-0 versus 5-0, 2 top 10 ranked teams, and we're tied 20-20.
And here's the thing. Here's why Toby Vallis is taking those timeouts, because if he can stop the Bombers 3 times in a row, again, they're punting into the wind. So he has an opportunity to get the ball back in plus territory with over a minute to go.
Yeah, and we saw how that last punt went for the Bombers. 2nd down and 10 now for Macomb. Again, got to keep this drive alive somehow. It'll be a Holthouse, scramble to the far side, looking to throw downfield, trying to make a move. He's going to throw back over his chest. He's got Watson there, able to catch that one.
Looks like he's got the line to gain.
Yeah, he's got the first down there.
Pass is complete to Drew Watson.
That pass will go for about 12 yards. We'll give him there.
Give Bomber first down.
Clock stops on the first down. Yeah, I don't think Coach Worrell wants to use his timeouts quite yet.
Holthouse looking to pass
Oh
once
boy.
again.
Oh boy, oh boy,
this
oh
might
boy.
be intercepted, and it is. This is picked off by number 7. That's Tristan Passmore. And
that's a miscommunication right there.
On the interception.
Absolute miscommunication. And again, double coverage. There were 2 men on Beal, and he and Holthouse did not have the same route in mind.
Farmington takes over 1st and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Holthouse threw it, thought maybe it was a go route.
Yeah.
Beal cut it back towards the middle. So Farmington takes over, just over a minute to play, minute and 12.
And here's the thing. They didn't have to chew up those timeouts.
Yeah, they still got 2 timeouts
They have
to
2
work with.
timeouts in their pocket and a minute 12, and they only have to go just over half the field.
Huge play by Farmington, able to get the ball back here late. We're right. First play. A lot of time to work with here. Trying to make a move there. Mamie's not able to bring him down. Takes another hit. He's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Be a loss of about 1 there for Wheelwright, if that. We got a player a little slow to get up there.
I think that's Wheelwright.
Is that Wheelwright? Yeah, that's Wheelwright limping off the sideline there. Not good scenes for sure late in this contest. Number 19, Brody Evans, I believe will walk into the game as Wheelwright's being held to the sideline. That is, of course, you never want to see that at any point during the game, but with a minute left.
But here's the benefit. You've got a backup cornerback as a senior. So you're not bringing a sophomore. You're not bringing somebody that hasn't had game experience, because you're coming into a game with a minute left, a tie football game in the 4th quarter against an undefeated team.
And you got a kid out there with presumably 4 years of football experience.
Yeah.
Wheelwright's up walking along the sideline, looks to be a little more nimble there with his step. Again, this is Evans into the game as flags come out. We got a timeout call.
No, that's a penalty.
False start.
Start against Farmington.
And Wheelwright will come back into the game. Exactly 1 minute to play in the 4th quarter.
Got trips to the field.
2nd and 16 Wheelwright will look to pass. Looks deep downfield. He's got Fauser there. Beal on the coverage.
Pass intended for Jarrett Fauser falls incomplete.
Another incompletion for Wheelwright. That's going to set up 3rd and 16. 5 seconds come off the clock.
Jack Beal came up a little bit tender there on that one, and quarterback Braden Holdhouse is in to play the boundary cornerback position. This time you've got a bunch. No, now they're stretching out into trips.
We're out looking to pass once again. Had Gronwall if it wants him. He wants a deeper shot downfield, able to make a move and forced to throw that one away.
It's outside the tackle box. That is perfectly fine. Again, smart quarterback.
4th and 16 now, 47 seconds. Almost have to punt this one away. And again, Bombers will have 3 timeouts to work downfield. Going to need a good punt here if you do elect to do so if you are Farmington. Which it appears that they will.
I don't know that I would expect a hard count, but you got to watch a fake here, trying to catch somebody off guard.
Watson back deep to receive. This one will be punted away. Another nice hard punt there. Will tail out of bounds. We'll see exactly where they mark that down out of bounds at.
Probably at about the 30, just past 32. Oh, the clock ran down. It was from 40 seconds down to about 32.
Yeah, it did. 32 seconds on the game clock.
They need to reset the clock. They're not going to address the clock. They're not going to address that. They're just going to allow that to be the case. All right.
That's interesting. So Macomb will.
Yeah, I would say you just go to overtime at this point.
Full House will hand it off to Watson. Maybe looking for one more big play here. Watson will be close to the first down.
Drew Watson on the carry. Timeout. Timeout, Macomb.
Macomb will take their first timeout here in the second half after the sports corner first down on the sweep over for Watson.
Macomb has 2 left, so
you could take a couple shots here if you wanted to.
Well, and you don't even have to take shots. Everything in your playbook is on the table. You can hit the middle of the field. You can hit whatever you want. I would obviously assume that the go to Kylan McMillan is on the table at some point. But again, you're throwing into the wind. There's a lot of factors at play there. It might be more prudent with those 2 timeouts in your pocket to hit something over the middle, hit a slant, even those quick routes or a late breaking in to try and find somebody in space, find open grass, and try and make a move and see how far down the field you can get.
Again, this is a situation we've talked about in the season with Hayden Katz as well, just how far down the field did the Bombers need to get to put them into field goal territory.
Yeah,
Full House fakes the handoffs. Man, great coverage there by Farmington. I believe number 27 for the Farmers popped up there from the pile. That's Cole Passmore.
And I think they're going to let the clock run down now.
It appears that they will, so that's going to take us to our first overtime game of the season. 20-20 is our score here at Farmington High School.
Boy, you talk about a football game between 2 5-0 teams. This is living up to the billing. This is the first overtime game I've been a part of on the broadcast.
Very well could be one of my first as well. Maybe I had one a couple years ago, a Bombers football game, but it's hard to remember back that far. But we definitely got one here tonight. And again, you mentioned some of these O's had to go here, and it's going to be decided in an overtime period. But, man, this football game has had just about everything you could ask for out of 2 undefeated schools. And we can check mark the overtime box as well in that.
If anybody had overtime on their bingo card, they just got a big spot filled.
So we'll take a quick break here, actually, as we get things set up for the overtime period. We got Logan Shire in the chat right before we go to commercial saying, wow, what a great game. Yeah, it's been a heck of a game. We've got almost 250 people in watching us here live. That is great numbers to see again. We appreciate everybody who's taking the time out of their night to join us. And this game has definitely lived up to the hype, has not let down yet. And we're heading to overtime right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH for Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bombers football.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I would have to say that is the most rewarding part of what I do, making a difference in people's lives, taking care of the women from puberty on through postmenopausal stages and seeing them go through the phases and stages of life.
Back here at Farmington High School as we get set for overtime action. We got Rust Repost in the chat saying Farmington all the way. Again, it's great to have viewers on both sides here on TSSR. I know usually we cover all the Macomb football games throughout the year. So this is a team that we have seen, not just this year, but throughout the years. I believe this is only my second time covering for the Farmington football squad. And of course, they have been very great to start the season and impressive here tonight.
So for those of you out there, the way this works is they just flipped at midfield. Farmington's going to start with the ball. Each team gets a possession starting at the 10-yard line. And each team is going to have the opportunity to score. And if they're still tied after that, they'll take another 2-minute break and do it again. The last time I was involved in an overtime game, I was coaching, and our JV team was in an overtime game at Quincy, Notre Dame. And that's a little swing route, running back swinging out behind the Twins. Ball just beyond his fingertips. But I think they went through 3 overtimes, and in the 4th overtime on 4th down, Tanner Horrell was the JV coach at the time. He actually went Wildcat with Evis Campbell, who's listening right now, I'm certain. Rolls out to his right, has Johnny Ogle, who's now our middle school football coach, open in the back of the end zone, but Evis tucks it down. It's a race to the pylon, and boy, he took a massive shot from a QND linebacker, but he reaches out, hits the pylon, and the Bombers win.
Got Catherine and Jessica Nadoff in the chat saying hello, overtime.
Timeout, Farmington.
And then we got Trish Kramer-Dahl on the info, saying thank you for the info on the overtime, Coach.
you got it, Trish. Yeah, my wife and I, we like to say that it's free football. You paid for a football game, and now you get free football. A little bonus coverage.
Again, we were kind of talking off air, man. It has gotten a little chilly up here in the bleachers, for sure, from where we started. And one thing I just want to point out real quick, I've been thinking about it throughout the game I haven't pointed out, but I believe it is blackout night here in Farmington, and these jerseys that the Farmers have on tonight, man.
With the gold helmets?
With the gold helmets,
Sick.
the dark purple helmets, the black
sick.
jerseys.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
That's a great look.
They should play in those every game.
And it's quite a contrast that the Bombers have the white uniforms with the orange hats.
So the first play was an incompletion to us, so that'll set up 2nd and 10 now.
I don't think you get 3. Yeah, each team gets 1 timeout. That's the jet sweep.
Gonna be brought up short. Great pursuit once again by Macomb.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a spill right there. That was Noah Aplogan was sitting there waiting, and the jet sweep came around, and he was met and brought down with a pretty big hit.
So the Bombers defense standing strong here so far in overtime.
Now, the wind is a huge factor, but if Macomb is able to maintain this stand and keep the Farmington Farmers off the scoreboard, you wonder if Hayden Katz comes into play.
Wheelwright will look to pass under pressure once again. He's going to make a run for the end zone. He puts his head down and he's in. Lane Wheelwright on the 3rd opportunity, able to punch that one through.
Wheelwright taking it to the ball for a Farmer touchdown.
And you know what? That's a guy just putting his team on his shoulders because he was dead to rights in the backfield, and he's able to wiggle out, and once he gets past the pressure, everybody else is downfield. It's just a foot race. If he can get to the pylon before they can crash down, and he wins the race.
Again, Wheelwright just not too long ago came up a little bit wobbly on a play during the regulation time. Took a play off, came back in, was still maybe favoring that foot a little bit, but he's able to put the legs on display there. And they'll get set to go to 2, or they'll keep to Wayne Wheelwright once again. Huge stop there by number 64 on the Bombers side. That's Charlie Bodiford able to bring up Wheelwright short, so you missed the 2-point conversion after scoring the touchdown. So we'll get things maybe flipped around here. They might go from the same side of the field, I'm not sure, for the Bombers try here out from the 10. We got Nick Kate.
Their choice.
Looks
yeah,
like,
they're going to stay down there.
They're going to stay on that end. We got Nick Kay in the chat saying, "Go Bombers from Beerstown. Hey, Coach Weston."
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. That's Nick Crow. He does a phenomenal job of covering local sports.
Let's go defense! Let's go defense!
And again, this is the first time that either of these teams have been faced with a late game situation and overtime here on the season.
You also have, well, first things first, you got to put the ball into the end zone.
Full house over the middle is intercepted.
That is intercepted, and that ends the football game.
The Farmington fans are going crazy here. The interception there, I didn't catch a number on that. That is Jack Gronwald able to pick it off, and that's how the game will come to an end, man. What a football contest.
And you know what? That was a phenomenal football play by that defensive back, because that play was open, and he had to recover on that play and get back there to make that play, which he did. Made a great play.
What a way to end the game, man.
But I tell you what, I don't know that anybody really loses footing after this football game. It was a phenomenal football game. Comes down to the wire. I mean, let's just think about that final play. If Gronwald jumps a little early, or if that ball is just thrown just a bit beyond, and Beal comes down with the does that mean that the Bombers are that much better? I mean, both of these teams played a great football game. The Farmers came out on top, and that's the way that goes. 6-0, phenomenal football team.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you talked about 2 5-0 teams coming into this contest. You would expect great football, and we saw a lot of it here tonight. And again, Gronwald with the interception there. He played huge for Farmington throughout the entire contest, but no bigger play than that, able to put this thing away.
Obviously, that's the
That's the play of the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll go over some final stats here, and Coach Horrell should hopefully be making his way up to the box here. We'll get a little post game with him as well. We'll start off for the Bombers.
You good? Are you good?
Holt House on the night will finish with 140 yards passing, 70 yards on the ground. So just 210 all-purpose yards for Holt House. A great night for him. Conley finishes the night with 4 carries for 6 yards. Really wasn't able to get much going on the run game outside of Holt House. Watson will finish the night with 4 receptions for 30 yards. He also had 3 rushing attempts for 26 yards. Kylan McMillan had the long 70-yard touchdown to kick things off. He finishes the day with 2 receptions for 83 yards. Jack Beal had 2 catches for 8 yards, and Drake May had 5 rushing attempts for 17 yards, and Kyler Norman also hauled in a pass for 7 yards. On the Farmington Farmers side, quarterback Lane Wheelwright finishes the day with 142 yards through the air and 76 yards on the ground. So these quarterbacks, pretty similar stat lines going both directions. Really 2 of the best quarterbacks in the West Central Illinois area doing it out here tonight. Ut finishes the game with
There it is. There it is.
Sorry about that. We had the power running through the crow's nest and we got unplugged. Here's Coach Horrell. We'll pass it off to him real quick. Get some post-game thoughts.
Coach, obviously, when you lose a game on the final play like that's devastating.
Right. So I think it was there. At times it wasn't, obviously. They had put that really big nose tackle and he was kind of blowing some things up, and they did some things to take it away. But I thought in the first half we had holes. We just didn't hit them. Maybe it was a high snap here or there. We had some slippage issues. I mean, we got to watch the film. That's a good football team, you know. That's take away the run.
Yep, I mean, number 2 and 2A. They'll probably end up 3A. But just a great football team, great back and forth. We've talked about it all year. We've talked about it with you. We knew it was coming at some point at a big moment. Kylan McMillan, second play of the game, 70 yards to kick things off. And then you recover. I wouldn't call it an onside. It was just pooched over the front line, and your guys got to the ball.
Yeah. We had all the momentum there at the beginning of the game, and we took advantage of it. We scored twice. But they're a good football team, and like I told them before the game, we've been down 14 points. They've been down 14 points. Neither of us are going to quit. We're both going to battle, and it's going to be a 20 or 48-minute game and end up being 48 minutes and 5 plays or 4 plays. So our guys they hurt right now, and I told them, remember it, but we don't need to hold our heads. We still have 3 more weeks and beyond, all right? And get better every week.
Absolutely.
Because we're a good football team. I think we showed that again tonight.
And you'd mentioned the quarterback, Wheelwright. How about that play in the first half? It's 4th and 4, and I can't remember who blitzed up the middle, but it was Noah App-Logan. Has him completely wrapped up going to the ground, and he throws a dot onto the sideline. At that point right there, we said, Farmington's not going anywhere.
No,
this
really
kid's got
good.
the juice.
And their receivers are really good. And they're a really good football team. They're gonna make some noise in 2A or wherever they end up. And there's 2 good football teams battling out.
Yep, and it was a great football game, Coach. And I know you got more things to do here, but we'll move on to Elmwood and continue on with our season.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for your time.
So, a couple words there from Coach Hurl. We'll go through the rest of the stats here as we kind of got cut off through the other ones to get things wrapped up here as they're getting ready to kick us out here, trying to close up the press box. Again, we're kind of stealing the power from them over here in Farmington. I believe we left off with Lane River. We'll just start it from the top. 142 yards through the air, 76 on the ground. Had 30 yards on the ground in the game. Number 10, Carter Lambert, I believe, he had 3 receptions for 38 yards. Jarrett Fauster had a catch for 17 yards. And again, we talked about all night, just making huge tackles in the open field at that safety position. And then Jack Groenwald had 4 catches for 86 yards. And, of course, that huge game-sealing interception in overtime for Groenwald. So looking ahead on the schedule, Bombers will be at Elmwood Brimfield next week. So, again, we talked about maybe, those 2 or I guess like 3 really tough games for Macomb coming up here. Of course, tonight against Farmington is in a game that they dropped 26 to 20. And then next week, Elmwood Brimfield. Everybody in the area knows how good that team is year in and year out and the style that they like to play. And, you've been playing the same style for however long Brimfield is, and it's still hard to stop them when you come into that game. And then Bureau Valley the week after that, and Macomb will wrap up their season against Havana.
At home. So one thing to mention, we talk about that run by Wheelwright on the touchdown. He wanted to throw the ball. So you talk about the last play, the interception, how a couple inches here, a couple inches there. Wheelwright was stopped in the backfield. He had pressure met him. He spins off of it, as he had done all game. And, so there's just so many ways that this football game could have gone either way. But Farmington, as you said, somebody's has to go. And tonight it was ours.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, positive words there in the post-game interview from Coach Hurl. Just moving on to the next week, the new Macomb was going to take a shot against a team at some point during the season. And it just so happened to be tonight against Farmington. But it'll be interesting seeing how this Bombers team responds after a loss heading into next week's game against a really tough Elmwood Brimfield squad. So, Tony, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here.
Let's get into our cars and out of this wind.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been your presentation of Honor Brothers Teen and Cooling's Bomber Football right here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. I've been John Burton. Alongside me, Coach Weston. We got Dylan on the camera. Did a great job, as always, working with what we have. And we will see you next week at Elmwood Brimfield.